If you've ever thought about moving to a new city, or you've already done it, you probably know that it's exciting, but it can also feel a little overwhelming. Everything is different. You have to find your way around, meet new people, and get comfortable in a place that doesn't feel like home yet.
Moving to a new city isn't just about packing boxes or finding a new apartment. It's about starting a new chapter in your life. And of course, if you're living in a place where people speak English, you'll have many everyday conversations just like the one we're going to practice today.
All right, let's get started. Leo, I heard some exciting news. Is it true that you're moving to a new city?
It is. Everything happened pretty quickly, actually. A few weeks ago, I accepted a new job, and one of the conditions was relocating. At first, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it, but after thinking about it for a few days, I realized it was a great opportunity.
Congratulations! That's a big step. How are you feeling about it now?
It's a mix of emotions. I'm excited because it's a fresh start, but I'm also a little nervous. I've lived in the same city for almost 10 years, so leaving everything behind feels strange.
I completely understand. Even when something is positive, change can still feel uncomfortable. Are you moving far away?
About 4 hours by car. It's not on the other side of the country, but it's far enough that I won't be able to visit my friends every weekend.
That makes sense. Will you know anyone there before you move?
Just one coworker. We spoke during the hiring process, and he offered to show me around once I arrive. Besides that, I don't really know anyone.
That's actually helpful. Having even one familiar face can make a huge difference during the first few weeks.
I hope so. My biggest concern isn't really the job. I'm confident I can learn my responsibilities. What worries me more is building a new routine.
What kind of routine?
You know, finding a grocery store, learning which neighborhoods are safe, figuring out the public transportation, discovering good restaurants, joining a gym, little things like that. They sound simple, but together they make everyday life comfortable.
That's true. We usually don't think about those things because we're already familiar with them where we live. But when you move somewhere new, suddenly everything requires a decision.
Exactly. Even buying groceries becomes an adventure.
I remember when I moved after college. On my first day, I spent almost an hour trying to find the nearest supermarket. I thought it would be just around the corner, but I kept walking in circles.
Really?
Yes, eventually I realized I was looking at the wrong map on my phone. It was showing directions from my old address instead of my new one.
That's actually funny.
It wasn't funny at the time because I was carrying 2 heavy bags and it started raining.
Okay, now I feel a little better about my own move.
You should. Everyone has stories like that. Nobody arrives in a new city already knowing everything.
I guess that's part of the experience.
Absolutely. Have you already found a place to live?
Yes, although it took longer than I expected. I looked at dozens of apartment listings online. Some were beautiful in the photos, but when I visited them in person, they looked completely different.
That's surprisingly common.
One apartment looked spacious online, but when I walked inside, I realized the pictures had been taken with a very wide camera lens. The living room was much smaller than I imagined.
Photos can definitely be misleading.
Finally, I found one that felt right. It's close to my office, there's a park nearby, and the neighborhood seems quiet.
That sounds like a good combination. Is it furnished?
Partially. It has the basic appliances, but I'll need to buy some furniture.
That can actually be fun. You get to decorate the place however you like.
That's true, although my wallet might disagree.
I know the feeling.
I'm trying to be practical. Instead of buying everything immediately, I'll start with the essentials.
That's a smart approach.
A bed, a table, a chair, some kitchen supplies. I can always add more things later.
Exactly. A home doesn't have to be perfect on the first day.
That's something I need to remind myself. Sometimes I compare my empty apartment to pictures I see online.
Social media can create unrealistic expectations. Most people don't show the messy parts of moving.
You're right, nobody posts pictures of unpacking 20 boxes or spending 3 hours assembling a bookshelf.
Or realizing you forgot to buy toilet paper on your first night.
That actually happened to my cousin.
See? Everyone makes little mistakes.
Speaking of unpacking, I still have so much to do. I honestly didn't realize how much stuff I owned until I started putting everything into boxes.
Moving has a funny way of teaching us that.
I found things I hadn't used in years.
Did you decide to keep everything?
No, I donated several bags of clothes and gave some furniture to friends. It felt good to simplify things before starting over.
That's a great idea. Sometimes moving gives us a chance to organize our lives, not just our homes.
Exactly. I wanted to begin this new chapter without carrying unnecessary things.
I like that perspective.
Thanks. I'm trying to stay positive.
By the way, there's a useful expression our viewers should know. You just said you're beginning a new chapter.
That's right.
When someone says they're starting a new chapter, they don't mean a chapter in a book. It's an expression we use to talk about a new period in life, a new job, a new relationship, moving to a different city, or any major life change.
So if I say moving to Chicago feels like the beginning of a new chapter, I'm talking about starting a new stage of my life.
Exactly. It's a very natural expression, and you'll hear native speakers use it quite often.
I like that phrase. It makes change sound exciting instead of scary.
Sometimes it's both.
That's true.
Have you thought about how you're going to meet new people once you move?
I've been thinking about that a lot. Making friends as an adult seems harder than it was in school.
I think many people feel the same way.
My plan is to say yes to opportunities. If my coworkers invite me to lunch, I'll go. If someone suggests exploring the city after work, I'll join them. I don't want to spend every evening alone in my apartment.
That's a wonderful attitude. Building friendships usually starts with simple conversations.
I'm also considering joining a local running club. I haven't been running consistently lately, but it seems like a good way to meet people who have similar interests.
That's an excellent idea. Shared hobbies make conversations feel much more natural.
Exactly. Instead of trying to think of topics, you already have something in common.
Can I ask you something?
Of course.
What do you think you'll miss the most about your current city?
That's an easy question. My family, my closest friends, and my favorite coffee shop. I used to stop there almost every Saturday morning.
Those small routines often become our favorite memories.
They really do. I know I'll create new routines in my new city, but it will probably take some time.
And that's perfectly normal.
Sorry, Anna, could you repeat that last sentence a little more slowly?
Of course. I said that's perfectly normal. Moving to a new city takes time, and you don't have to feel completely comfortable during the first week or even the first month.
Thank you. That's actually a useful phrase.
It definitely is. Sometimes English learners forget that it's completely okay to ask someone to repeat what they said. Native speakers do that too.
Absolutely. Saying, could you repeat that, or could you say that a little more slowly, is polite and very natural.
Exactly. And it helps keep the conversation going instead of pretending you understood.
I couldn't agree more.
So, when is the big moving day?
It's next Saturday morning, and to be honest, I think that's when everything will finally feel real.
I remember feeling exactly the same before my move. The closer moving day got, the more I realized my life was about to change. It wasn't just about changing my address, it was about creating a completely new routine.
That's exactly how I feel. I've already packed most of my things, but every time I tape another box shut, it reminds me that this is actually happening.
Have your friends been helping you prepare?
They have. Last weekend we had a small farewell dinner. It wasn't anything fancy. We ordered pizza, talked for hours, and shared funny memories. It was simple, but it meant a lot to me.
Those are often the moments we remember the most.
I think so too. At one point we stopped talking about the move and just enjoyed being together. It reminded me how lucky I am to have such supportive friends.
That's wonderful. Even though you'll be living in a different city, those friendships don't disappear.
Exactly. We'll probably see each other less often, but video calls make it much easier to stay connected these days.
Definitely. Years ago, moving away often meant losing touch with people. Today, it's much easier to keep relationships strong.
My parents already told me they'll probably visit within the first month.
I'm sure they're excited to see your new place.
They are. My mom already asked where the nearest grocery store is, and I haven't even moved yet.
That sounds like a mom.
It really does.
Have you made a list of everything you need to do during your first week?
I have. Actually, writing everything down helped me feel much less stressed.
What's on your list?
Let's see. Unpack the essentials, connect the internet, visit the grocery store, find a pharmacy, learn the quickest route to work, open a membership at a nearby gym, and explore the neighborhood.
That sounds very organized.
I'm trying to avoid feeling overwhelmed.
That's another useful word.
It is.
When you feel overwhelmed, it means you feel like you have too many things to do or too many emotions at the same time. Maybe you don't know where to begin because everything feels important.
So if I say I felt overwhelmed while unpacking all my boxes, does that sound natural?
Absolutely. That's exactly how native speakers use the word.
Good to know. I think many people feel overwhelmed after moving.
I agree. The important thing is to remember that you don't have to do everything in one day.
That's something I need to remind myself.
One step at a time.
Exactly.
Besides work, what are you most looking forward to?
Exploring the city. Every place has its own personality. There are different neighborhoods, parks, cafes, museums, local markets. I want to experience all of it.
That's one of my favorite parts of moving somewhere new.
Really?
Absolutely. During my first month in a new city, I'd pick one neighborhood every weekend. I'd walk around without any particular destination. Sometimes I'd discover a quiet coffee shop, sometimes a beautiful park, and occasionally I'd get completely lost.
Hopefully not too lost.
Nothing serious. Besides, getting a little lost helped me learn the city much faster.
That's a positive way to look at it.
I think curiosity makes new places feel less intimidating.
That's true. Instead of thinking everything is unfamiliar, you can think, I have so much to discover.
Exactly.
I'm also excited about trying new restaurants.
Any particular kind of food?
Not really. I want to try local favorites. Whenever I visit a new city, I like asking people where they eat instead of searching for famous tourist restaurants.
That's a great strategy.
Local recommendations are usually the best.
I couldn't agree more.
One thing I'm curious about is how long it takes before a new city starts feeling like home.
That's a difficult question because it's different for everyone.
How long did it take for you?
Honestly, several months. At first, everything felt temporary. I kept comparing my old city to my new one.
I can imagine doing that too.
Then one day, something interesting happened.
What happened?
I was walking home from work and I realized I wasn't using my phone for directions anymore.
That's a great feeling.
It really was. I knew which streets I liked, where my favorite bakery was, and which coffee shop made the best cappuccino. Without realizing it, the city had slowly become familiar.
I like that story because it shows that feeling at home doesn't happen overnight.
Exactly. It happens through small experiences that build up over time.
That's encouraging.
There's another thing people often forget.
What's that?
It's okay to miss your old city.
That's true.
Missing familiar places doesn't mean you made the wrong decision. It simply means those places were important to you.
I really like that perspective.
You can appreciate your memories while still enjoying your new life.
Exactly. I don't want to spend all my time comparing cities. I want to give this new place a fair chance.
I think that's the perfect attitude.
There's something else I've been thinking about.
What's that?
Introducing myself to new people over and over again.
That can definitely be tiring.
Hi, I'm Leo. I just moved here. I started working here last week. I'm still learning my way around. I think I'll be saying those sentences a lot.
Probably, but each conversation will become a little easier than the last.
That's a good point.
And remember, people are usually kind when they hear someone is new in town. Many of them remember what it was like when they first arrived.
I hope so.
I'm sure you'll be surprised by how willing people are to help.
Actually, could you say that last sentence one more time?
Of course. I said you'll be surprised by how willing people are to help.
Willing. I know that word, but could you explain it?
Certainly. If someone is willing, they are happy or ready to do something. For example, if someone is willing to answer your questions or give you directions, they don't mind helping you.
That's a useful word. So I could say, my new coworker was willing to show me around the city.
Exactly. That's a perfect example. I'll definitely remember that. Before we finish, imagine we're talking again 6 months from now. How do you hope you'll describe your new life?
That's a great question. I hope I'll say that I enjoy my job, that I've made a few close friends, and that I know the city well enough to recommend places to other people. I hope my apartment feels like home instead of just a place where I sleep. I hope I have favorite restaurants, favorite walking routes, and maybe even a favorite weekend routine. Most of all, I hope I look back and realize that taking this chance was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
I think that's a wonderful goal. And honestly, based on everything we've talked about today, I think you're approaching this move with the right mindset. You're excited, but you're also realistic. You're planning ahead, but you're leaving room for surprises. That's a healthy balance.
Thanks, Anna. Talking about it has actually made me feel much more confident. Sometimes saying your thoughts out loud helps you realize you're more prepared than you think.
I couldn't agree more. And that's true not only for moving to a new city, but also for learning English. The more you practice speaking, the more confident you become. Little by little, conversations that once felt difficult begin to feel natural.
Exactly. Confidence doesn't appear overnight. It grows every time you use English in a real conversation.
And that's the perfect place to end today's conversation. We hope this discussion helped you learn useful English while also giving you confidence for one of life's biggest adventures, moving to a new city.
If you enjoyed practicing English with us today, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the English Talk channel. Every new conversation helps you become a more confident English speaker.
Thank you so much for spending time with us today. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and remember that every new conversation is another step toward fluency.
We'll see you in the next lesson. Take care, everyone.
Goodbye and happy learning!